Hi yogis, welcome back. I'm Melanie, I am Camp Host Yogi, and today we're going to do a full body flow, finding some space, finding some peace in the body. So go ahead and come to a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit on a blanket, a block, or you can even sit on your knees, sitting on your heels. So find that place. Find the sukha in your sukhasana. And start to lengthen and soften the breath, bringing yourself to this place, the here and the now. Starting to turn your attention inward so you can soften your gaze or close the eyes. And start to become aware of what's happening in the body for you. So noticing first where your body is touching the earth. So noticing your seat, see if you can soften here. Notice if there's any gripping, and go ahead and release that. Continue to lengthen and soften the breath for a few more moments. Go ahead and start to move. So first we're going to take our real nice and easy right ear towards right shoulder. And just allow gravity and the breath to help you with this. Notice if either side is starting to creep the ears up towards, or creep the shoulders up towards the ears. Keep them pressing back and down. And then we're going to rock it gently, just slightly forward at first. So about a 45-degree angle, bringing the stretch closer to the back of your neck. Notice any little clicks or pops. See if you can notice the spaces, the places in between the spaces where you notice things. So we're going to see if we can expand our spaciousness. So having a little bit of an awareness of how you're feeling now. And see where it goes. One more inhale here. And then we'll return it from slightly forward to back to right ear coming towards right shoulder. And then gently bring the head back to center. And we'll simply tilt to the other side. It might feel wildly different from the other side. That's okay. Just notice without judgment. See if you can soften on the exhales. Letting go a little more. Being aware that your shoulders aren't creeping up to your ears. One more deep inhale here. So maybe come up out of it, just slightly grow tall. And then soften and bend on the exhale. And then we're going to tilt it slightly forward, bringing the stretch toward the back of the neck, but not straight down. So we have a little bit of a 45-degree angle coming between the side and the center. Breathing and letting go. And then we'll return it over to the side here. Before pressing our way back up. And then from here we're going to go and release the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale here. And then exhale to slowly circle down through center. Coming over to the left side. Inhale here. Exhale, circle down through. relaxation. Inhale. Exhale, circle down through center, nice and slow. Inhale as you come to the left. Exhale, release the weight of the head, roll through center. We're going to take, if you feel to take, a couple of full circles. Follow with me, otherwise just continue side to side. We'll take a couple one direction. And then go ahead and reverse the direction. And release chin down to the chest. Hold for a couple breaths here. Plugging the shoulders back and down. Lengthening the back of the neck. And then maybe bring your right fingertip to underneath your chin and assist yourself back up to center. Just take a couple of breaths here, noticing how you feel. Hopefully already finding a little bit of space in the breath and in the body. Let's inhale, shrug the shoulders up and back. Drawing circles with the shoulders. Inhale, squeeze everything up and release it back and down. Couple more of these. Maybe squeeze a lot on the last one and then release it down. Let's go ahead, take our fingertips to the front of the shoulders and we're going to circle the elbows towards each other. See if you can bring them together and then circle around. And see if you can synchronize the breath to this. So inhale as they come together and exhale as you circle through. And maybe you'd like to take it a little faster or continue nice and slow. But investigate the movement. So maybe changing the focus slightly to open the shoulders, and we'll reverse the direction. So maybe for a couple of the first ones, you see if you can get the elbows together, just seeing what happens without any attachment to the results, and then just kind of feel into it and give your body what it needs. Maybe even change the grip and get a couple of massages in on those shoulders. And let's go ahead and extend the arms out nice and wide. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, and then exhale, hands in prayer down through center. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Look up, exhale, really press the palms together, draw the shoulder blades together on the back. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, really reach through the fingertips. Nice active arms, growing taller. Hands come together, down through center, Anjali Mudra. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, just noticing, not judging. We'll take the hands to the knees, and we're going to circle the spine here, just starting to warm up. And you can start to bring the elbows and the shoulders in if they feel nice and warm and that feels gooey and delicious. So find your movement. And reverse the direction. And then coming back to your center, finding stillness for a couple of breaths here. Exhaling completely. And from here we'll take our left fingertips down to the earth, extend the right arm out to the right. Active fingertips reaching actively away from your right shoulder. Inhale, feel the stretch in the armpit and the bicep before rainbowing up and over. Feeling that stretch on the right side of the body. See if you can keep your ear away from your shoulder. So maybe imagine you have a big rolled up yoga mat here, a soccer ball, and you can press into the floor to get a little extra space in the right side of the body here. Breathing deeply. And then see if you can look up under that right arm. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open a little more. Maybe open the arm. And feel that stretch in the shoulder. Let's go ahead and turn our thumb towards the earth. And take the back of that right hand to the low back. And then just let the head hang heavy. See what unfurls here. I'm getting a lot of little pops and clicks. And then press yourself back up. Get nice and tall again. Sitting bones grounding into the earth, crown of the head reaching toward the sky. Right fingertips on the mat. Left arm out to the left. And then activate through the fingertips. Actively reach that left hand away from the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Inhale here. And then exhale to rainbow up and over. And just taking your time and noticing which places would like a little more space. And allowing the movement to assist with that. So wherever feels natural, let it go there. Inhale, open up a little more. Exhale, soften and bend the left side of the body. Inhale, open up towards the sky. Exhale, soften and bend. Inhale, open. Nice big deep breath. Exhale all the air out. Last one, open and hold. So maybe take the arm out, extended. Feel that stretch in the shoulder. And then turn the thumb down, taking the back of your left hand to your low back. And then just letting the head hang heavy. If you're like me, you'll get lots of pops and clicks here, but just notice what is. And then re-extend the arm to press yourself back up. From here, we're going to go onto our hands and knees. Find a child's pose. Press the hips to the heels and stretch the fingertips forward. You can rest your forehead on the mat. Breathe deeply here. If you have your Ujjayi breath, you can start to work with that here. So making the whisper sound in the back of the throat, creating that constriction to lengthen the breath. And on an inhale, look at your fingertips and walk them over to the left. Reach the fingertips to the left and the hips to the right. Release the forehead if you can. And just allow the breath to expand the low back, mid back, upper back, making space. Feel the lengthening on the right side of the body. And on your next inhale, look at the fingertips, walk them through center and over to the right. Reach your fingertips to the right and your hips to the left. Drop the forehead if you can. Breathe here. So allowing the breath to fill up the left low back, left middle back, left upper shoulder. One more deep breath here. Exhale, release down into the earth. And on your next inhale, look at the fingertips, walk them back to center and stretch back into your child's pose. Noticing any differences in the back body, the low back. And prepare to lift up into tabletop, hands and knees pose. Oh, take a moment to arrange your tabletop, spreading the fingers wide, shoulders over the wrists, and index or middle finger pointing up toward the top of your mat. Toes are tucked. We're going to find a cow pose here, so dropping the belly and curling the tailbone up, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, belly to spine. Inhale, pull palms towards you, stretch the skin of the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Feel the back body lengthening. Inhale, tailbone curls up. Look forward, exhale, round. And then coming back to your neutral tabletop. Pull the low belly in. Let's extend our right arm forward, keeping the shoulders as level as you can. And then start to press extra firmly into that left palm and activate that left leg back behind you. Press through the heel. Lengthen. So imagine you're breathing space between every vertebra here. Keep the low belly pulling in and turn those left toes in slightly to level the hip. Creating some heat here. Keep breathing, full belly breaths. One more. Extend, reach the hand away from the foot. And exhale. Replace the hand, replace the knee, press the hips back. Child's pose. Breathe here. And prepare to come back up. Tabletop. Take a moment, arrange your tabletop. Press firmly into the right palm. Extend the left palm forward like you were going to shake somebody's hand. But then spread the fingers wide. Inhale the right leg behind you. Pull the low belly in. Notice the shoulders and the hips are even. Keep breathing deeply and reaching this left hand away from your right heel. And then again, remembering to visualize. So see if you can imagine the spine lengthening. Press a little more firmly into your index finger and thumb. Last breath, so reaching actively away. And exhale, press the palm. Settle the knees, send the hips to the heels. Child's pose, breathe here. And prepare to come back up to your tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, find your downward facing dog. Keeping the knees bent. And maybe taking the feet and the hands a little wider than usual. And noticing the spaciousness of this tiger dog. Yeah, it's a little different than a down dog. Imagine you're a tiger and you know how a cat paws at the ground. So you can walk your feet out and paw at the ground. Keeping your sitting bones aiming up towards the sky, just kind of feeling animalistic about this and finding space. And we're going to change it up just a little bit and start to circle forward to the left and back. So we're rolling through the feet and changing our center of gravity through the hands. Breathing deeply and noticing the sensations. Keep sending the sitting bones up towards the sky. And reverse the direction. And then we're going to return back to our standard downward dog. So maybe take the palms as wide as the shoulders and the feet about hip width distance apart. Starting to ground the heels towards the earth, getting that stretch in the calves, in the heels, maybe the hamstrings too. And then we're gonna sway the hips a little here. So bending into the right knee, sending the right hip over to the right, and then switching. Bending the left knee, sending the left hip over to the left. So we're lengthening the opposite side of the body. Lengthening the right side, and then the left. And coming back to center. We're going to inhale, come forward, bringing the shoulders over the wrists. Find your plank pose. So notice if your hips are high. See if you can settle them. Finding this straight line from crown of head to tail. Breathing, sending the thumbs towards each other. And imagining you're turning it 2 dials outward. Pull the little belly in. We're going to shift the shoulders forward, bend the elbows, come all the way down to the earth. Release the tops of the feet. Let's take our fingertips off the mat. Nice and wide and tented. So the palms are lifted off the ground. We're going to roll the shoulder blades together on the back and then press the chest up. Breathe here. So notice the spaciousness across the front of the body. Inhale here, and then we're going to dip the right shoulder. Inhale back to center, dip the left. Inhale back, and again. Notice if your feet are wandering away. Mine will tend to do that. Just keep an eye on what's happening. Keeping your feet in line with the hips. Coming back up, release down. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders this time. Again, roll the shoulder blades together on the back, then press into the palms. Lift the chest, elbows squeeze the ribs. Exhale, press back. Take a child's pose. And prepare to inhale back up to tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, find downward facing dog. And we're going to start to move here and warm the body. So we're going to lift the right leg up and back behind us. Breathe here, press through the heel, lengthen the leg. Like you were pushing a wall behind you with your foot. Breathing deeply. Maybe lift that right heel a little more. And exhale, slowly release the leg back down to the earth. And prepare to go to the left side. So coming up high on the toes, inhale the left leg up and back. Soften that right heel towards the floor. Press the left heel away from you. One more inhale here. Exhale, slowly set the foot down. Inhale, come forward in your plank. Drop the knees, drop the chest between the palms and the chin. And then press the chest forward. Elbows squeeze the ribs. Press back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. And now we're going to lift the right leg up to the sky. Reach through the heel. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, reach the right foot back behind you. Exhale, knee to chest. Last one, inhale. Press the right heel away from you, lengthen. Exhale, draw it in, hold here. Round the spine, the shoulders, and then see if you can step it through. We're going to plant the left heel, or the left foot with the toes pointing towards the front left corner of the mat. Find warrior one, bending into the right knee, hips drawing forward. Inhale. Exhale. Pressing the shoulder blades back and down, finding space between the ears and the shoulders. Pressing into the outside edge of the left foot. Finding space in that left hip. Breathe. Let's maybe open the arms a little, look up. And exhale. Plant the hands, let that left heel pop up. We'll go through a flow here. So yogi's choice. You can take knees, chest, chin. Or chaturanga, you can take cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in child's pose. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathing deeply. And finding some stillness here. We'll lift the left leg up and back behind us. Reach through the heel, lengthen. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Shoulders over wrists. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to chest. Round the spine, make a little more space. Step the foot through, plant the right foot. Toes aiming towards that front right corner of your mat. Inhale, the arms up. Pressing into the right, outside edge of the right foot. Breathing deeply, plug the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe look up. Make more space in the shoulders. Exhale, go through your flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Tippy toe walk the feet up towards the hands and find a forward fold. Keep the feet as wide as the hips, maybe even a little wider. Let the head and neck hang heavy, grabbing opposite elbows. You can sway a little side to side. Keep breathing deeply. And again, imagining space between each vertebra. We're going to inhale and come up halfway. So you can reach your fingertips to the earth or to your shins or your blocks. Look forward, pull the belly in. Exhale, soften down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale, soften and bend. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Now take your right hand to your right low back, left hand to the left low back, and the knees activate, so nice strong legs. Lift the chest, come up to stand, and then hands in prayer, heart center, Anjali Mudra. Breathe here. Find Tadasana, mountain pose. So grounding through all four corners of both feet, actively pressing the feet into the earth. Nice strong core. Press the shoulders back and down. Lengthen crown of the head. Chin is parallel to the floor. Let's take the hands so they just palms face forward. So we open the chest a little more. Inhale the arms around and up. Maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, bend the knees. Dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Step the right foot back into this runner's lunge. And see if we can just settle the hips a little, getting a stretch into the right side of the hip flexor and the psoas. Breathe. And then start to activate, pressing the feet into the earth, come up and build this high lunge. So when you find your balance, lift the arms. Breathe here. Notice if your tailbone is kind of, what we want to do is bend into that right knee, tuck the tailbone, and then re-extend the leg. Making more space in this right hip and the right leg. Inhale, gaze comes up. Exhale, plant the hands, step the foot back, go through your flow. We will meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Let's lift the right leg up and back behind us. Press through the heel. Exhale. Bring the knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists. And step it through. We'll build that lunge on this other side. So first letting that left hip sink down if it feels good. And then starting to press the feet into the earth, come up to the right thigh first. Maybe put that little bend in the left knee. Tuck the tailbone and re-extend the left leg, taking the arms up once you feel balanced. Lots of space between the ears and the shoulders. Breathe here. Last breath, gaze comes up. Maybe open the arms out a little more. Exhale. Plant the hands. Go through your flow. And take child pose to connect to the breath here. And prepare to come up to your downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. And pedal the feet out. Extend the sitting bones up towards the sky. Press your chest towards your thighs. Maybe sink the shoulders towards the earth a little more. Lengthen through the backs of the legs, so settling the heels a little closer to the earth. Let's take the right leg up and back behind us. Stretch the leg, reach through the heel. Bend the knee, opening the knee out to the right. Right heel comes toward left glute. Breathe here. Opening that right hip. Straighten and square the leg back behind you. And then draw the knee into the chest. And then step it through. We're going to plant that back heel parallel to the short edge of your mat, and toes turn in slightly. Go ahead and just grab onto the foot or plant the hand. We'll take the left arm up, starting to build side angle pose. Take your gaze up to that left thumb, and then see if you can bring the arm over the ear line, lengthen, reaching in front of you. We're going to press back up, so go back and extend the left arm up, and then press into this front foot to come back up to warrior two. Notice where your knee is, stack it over the right heel, breathe. Sink the hips a little more, so maybe bending a little more into that front right knee, pressing into that outside edge of the left foot. Nice active back leg. Breathing deeply. One more deep breath here. And we'll cartwheel the arms down, frame the foot, and this time we're going to set the left knee down and find half splits pose. So pulling the toes towards you, knee under left hip, so make any adjustments you need to make. Swivel that right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe here. Inhale, step into the right foot, step into the left toes, lift the left knee, step the right foot back to meet the left. Go through your flow. And meet in downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Sending the sitting bones up toward the sky. Lengthen the backs of the legs. Let's inhale the left leg up and back behind us. Reach through the heel, lengthen. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest, round the spine, stepping the left foot through. Plant the right foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, then turn the toes in toward yourself slightly. Take this left hand either on the foot or the inside of the foot so that your arm presses firmly into the calf. Extend the right arm up. Take your gaze to that right thumb. Breathe here, opening both shoulders outward. So don't sink into this bottom shoulder. Keep it opening. And taking that right arm over the ear line, pressing actively into the right pinky side edge of your right foot. Let's go ahead and take that right arm back up towards the sky. Press into the left foot. Find your warrior two. Stabilize the left knee over the left heel. Pressing into the outside edge of this left foot. Bending into the left knee. Stretching all through the right hip and groin. Breathe here. And cartwheel the hands down, pop that left heel up. We'll set the right knee down, heel toe that foot towards center if that helps, and then pull the toes towards you for half splits pose. Check that your right knee is under your right hip. And then it's a little swivel of the hips to intensify the stretch. Left hip comes back, right hip swivels forward. And we're lengthening reaching the chest towards the toes and the crown of the head forward. Let's go ahead and step into that left foot, pop the right knee up, step back into plank. Go through your flow. Meet in downward facing dog. Breathe deeply here. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back behind us. And exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Step it through. We're going to step the left foot a little closer, about 3 to 5 inches closer. And then pointing towards the front left corner of the mat. Open the hips out to the side. And then we're going to kick that left hip out. Reach, 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 reach forward. Find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathe here. And again, you can find support on a block or your shin or take the hand down. Just make sure you're opening that shoulder. Breathe here. Press into the outside edge of that left foot, making space in this left hip. Breathing. And then to come up, bend into this left knee, or sorry, right knee. Press yourself up. We're going to take the toes, turn the toes in, and center yourself for a wide leg straddle stretch. So toes are turned in slightly, active legs, hinging at the hips, come forward. And maybe hold on to the outside of the feet. Press into the outside of the feet to activate through the legs. Imagine your hips broadening here. And breathe. And taking both hands to the low back, activate through the legs to bring yourself all the way up. And go to the other side. We're just going to turn the left toes out. And then slightly turning in the right toes so they're pointing towards that front or back right corner of your mat. And then kicking this right hip out, lengthen, 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 and then wherever you land, find support. If you have a block, fingertips on the mat can be very nice. Keep both shoulders opening out. Both shoulders finding more space. Gaze up to that right thumb. Press into the outside pinky edge of the right foot. Get a little more space in the hip. And then bending the left knee, press yourself back up. Turn those toes back in. We'll take another forward fold. So hands on hips, hinge at the hips. Come forward. Breathing deeply. Maybe holding onto the ankles or the outside of the feet. If your head is touching the ground, maybe heel to the feet a little closer so you can get that traction. Make sure your shoulders are sinking to your ears, so lifting the shoulder heads. So the neck and shoulders are spacious. And then to come out of this, we're going to bend the knees and then start to heel toe the feet towards each other if you can, finding your malasana. So however you need to get here. And if you need support, if you can't come down that far, that's okay. Maybe blocks underneath, a pillow can be good. If you're with me here, go ahead and bring the elbows to the inside of the thighs, opening them out. So you're actually using the musculature of the glutes and the thighs to open those knees, not just using the arms. And then imagine the tailbone Dropping down into the earth, growing roots in the crown of the head, rising up and blossoming like a flower. Breathe. Find some stillness. And if you find that this is too much for you, you can always drop down to your seat anytime. That's where we're going next. A couple more breaths here. And then maybe you just plant the hands. Release the hips down to the earth. Gonna take the feet wide. Whew. Maybe not that wide. Sometimes we don't know where we are, so make sure you notice these things, these changes on a daily basis. Get really tall here. And then we're going to take our right hand down along the inside of the thigh. So wherever you are, see if you can get that arm underneath you. And then the left arm comes up and over. So I kind of try and get my shoulders snuggled into the thigh there, get more space, and then I can open up this left side of the body a little more. Opening the right side ribs toward the sky. Breathe. And then as if someone was lifting you up by the fingertips, and we'll go to the other side. So just gliding that left hand down the left leg. Right arm comes up and over. If you need more support, hands in prayer. So, but we're still lengthening the side of the body. I can pretty much feel this all the way down to my right toes. So keep your feet gently flexed. Breathe. See if you can open the left side chest toward the sky a little more. And then again, lift your arm and then imagine someone just lifting you up. And then we'll come to center, get really tall, hinging at the hips here. So maybe ground the thighs down. That can feel really good before coming forward. About 10 breaths here in this stretch. So if you need support from blocks or blanket underneath you, go ahead and find those. And then come out of this, inhale, look forward, pull the belly in and press your way up. We're going to pull the right, we're going to bend the right knee, pulling the right foot into the groin. And again, taking your left hand down your left leg, and you'll feel a deeper stretch here on that right hip. Take the right arm up and over if you can, otherwise hands in prayer. And then use your hands to help yourself back up. We'll square the chest toward the left leg. So maybe take your left fingertips behind you like a little kickstand. Bring the right arm up and get it really long and tall, stretching up. And then exhale, diving forward to the outside of this left leg. So outside of the thigh, knee, calf, or foot. Grab what you can. left arm up and over. Press into the left foot. Lengthen. So just becoming a rainbow. Lengthening the left side of the body. Super juicy stretch. And then setting the hips down, and we'll switch to go to the other side. Again, the right hand coming down the right leg, or maybe you just hold here. Deep stretch along this left side of the body, the left hip. So you can open up, maybe look up under that left arm. And to come up, we'll turn ourselves toward our extended right leg. Take the right fingertips behind you. Left arm comes up, get really tall, really long, and then dive into the outside of the right calf, knee, ankle or foot. And then inhale, look at your toes, come on up, and left hand outside of the left hip, popping up onto that left knee, right arm reaches over, press into the right foot. Maybe open the chest toward the sky, and then set the hips down. We're going to take the feet together, knees apart, for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Maybe open the soles of the feet up and bring the feet in an appropriate amount for your stretch. Let's get really tall, stretch the chest forward first, and then hinge at the hips and walk yourself forward any amount. So you might just come forward an inch, that would be fine. And then again, to come out of this, looking forward, and find your way up. We're going to take the knees together, and go ahead and laying down on your mat, pull the knees into the chest, and rock and roll side to side, get a little back massage, and we're going to take the hands to the knees, and circle the knees, bringing them forward to the left, towards you, to the right, drawing a circle, making space in the hips, and notice how this feels. Reverse the direction. And now we're going to take our right arm out to the right. We're going to shift our hips a little to the right as well, and let the knees gently rock over to the left. Take your gaze to your right thumb if you can, or just straight up towards the sky. Pull the little belly in, maybe twist a little more. back to the center. Give them a nice deep squeeze. And then extend the left arm out to the left. Shift the hips an inch or two to the left. The knees will start to fall to the right. You can guide them there with your hand and maybe ground them down on the outside of this left knee. Take your gaze to the left thumb. Breathe. Settle into the earth. Let gravity help you here. And if this twist is too deep for you, you just simply take the knees lower or higher if you need deeper. And start to return to a natural breath here. And gently guiding the knees back to center. Centering the hips in your mat. Bring the feet close to the hips, elbows against the low ribs. So fingertips pointing towards the sky, and then press into the feet, lift the hips, press into the elbows and the upper arms, lift the upper back. Maybe you can bring the arms underneath, clasp, or you can just hold in your bridge pose. Knees are gently moving towards each other, but you're pressing into your feet as well to lengthen the spine. One more breath here. Gently release the hips down to the earth. Give the knees another squeeze. And we're going to take the feet together, knees apart, so we can simply grab the outside of our feet. And then, if that's too difficult for you, you can hold on to the ankles or the shins, but we're drawing our knees towards our armpits. Happy baby pose. So you can do what you like here. You can simply draw the knees towards the earth, getting a nice stretch. You can also rock gently side to side. So choose your own adventure. So indulge yourself once in a while. And coming back to center, give the knees one last squeeze, and then Shavasana. Just allow the whole body to melt into the floor. See if you can find some symmetry in the body. So bringing the shoulder blades underneath you and lengthening the spine, but then let the feet flop open, palms face the sky. Scan through the body. Notice if there's anywhere still holding tension. Use your conscious awareness to release that tension into the earth. Soften your face, your forehead, and just watch the breaths come and go. Have thoughts that come through, just allow them to come and go like the breath. Go ahead and start to invite movement back to the fingers and the toes. Maybe take the ankles and the wrists in circles. Maybe take a big cat stretch overhead. And then rolling over, turning onto your right side. Feel position. Just resting here for a couple of breaths. as little energy as possible, finding your way back up to your seat. And just take a moment in your seat. Notice any changes in the body, in the mind, in the quality of your breath, quality of your thoughts, or lack thereof.